This is my favorite recipe for traditional Thanksgiving stuffing. You're going to start by prepping the bread the night before so that it can have time to dry and just be ready. I take a pound of French bread, just buy it from Walmart, and I take my bread knife and I just chop it into little cubes because we're going to turn them into croutons. After this, you're going to go ahead and put them on a baking sheet. I don't even know why I lined mine, it's just bread. And then you're going to put them in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes at 350 degrees. Or until they dry out like croutons. Now that they look like this, I just leave them on the counter to cool down overnight. This is the next day. There is quite a bit of chopping involved with making stuffing. So starting with the celery, you're going to chop 1.5 cups worth of celery. That's what the recipe calls for. I ended up chopping about 2 cups, and since I already chopped it, I just decided to use it. I'm pretty lenient when it comes to me cooking. Next, we're going to chop an entire onion. I can't chop onion fast enough, so this part was pretty rough. And you're just dicing everything into pretty small pieces. While we're here, I'm going to get started on the herbs. So I pulled all my herbs out of the fridge. We're going to use sage, rosemary, and thyme, and parsley. You're going to measure out 1/4 cup of sage, or just the entire thing like I did because there's no other occurrence that I'm going to need sage. So I just used the entire little $2 pack I got from Walmart. And then I separated about 1 tablespoon worth of thyme leaves. Next, you're going to chop about 2 tablespoons worth of rosemary leaves and 1/2 cup of flat leaf parsley. I didn't end up having 1/2 cup worth, but it's fine. I really don't stress it. Next, I'm preparing the butter. This entire recipe calls for 2 sticks of butter. You're going to take 1.5 sticks and get that over a pan or a Dutch oven like me. Get it melted because that's where you're going to saute the onions and celery. You're going to saute them for about 10 minutes until they start to brown. Here's also where I add some salt and pepper. Now let's get our bread staged and ready for when the vegetables are done cooking. I got a large bowl. I added all my croutons in there. And when the vegetables are done, you're going to add them to the large bowl with the croutons, and then you're going to add all the herbs on top of that. And then you're going to add 1 1/4 cup of chicken broth. I'm really excited because I got to add my homemade chicken broth, which has no sodium, so I'm solely relying on the salt that I added when I was cooking the vegetables. Once you get that all incorporated, you're going to take out a medium-sized bowl, and here you're going to crack 2 eggs and add another 1 1/4 cup of chicken broth. Whisk that together, add that to the bread mixture, and then go ahead and incorporate that one more time. Now you're going to prepare your pan. You want to use something around the ballpark of a 9x13. I have this little thing I got from TJ Maxx that I like making my stuffing in. Now remember the other 1/2 stick of butter from earlier? You're going to cut that into little cubes and then place that over the top. It gives it a nice golden crust. Now you're going to cover your stuffing with tin foil and then bake at 350 degrees for 40 minutes and then take off the foil and bake it for another 40 minutes uncovered. And that is a classic Thanksgiving stuffing.